Great. So hello, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Dorota Piotrowska. I am project coordinator for edu4sdgs project. As you probably know, this is Erasmus Plus cooperation partnership project coordinated by my university, Lodz University of Technology. So today I would like to introduce our project and explain why we believe that achieving the Sustainable Development Goals requires more than knowledge alone. It requires, first of all, some people who are emotionally intelligent, motivated, and ready to become real agents of change. So as we all know, the world is currently facing multiple interconnected crisis, and and unfortunately the progress toward the 2030 agenda has slowed significantly in recent years. At the same time, global research has shown a decline in emotional intelligence, particularly in two competences that are essential for sustainable development goals. It means increasing empathy and pursuing noble goals. So this raises a sort of important question for us. If people already know about climate change, about inequality, about social responsibility, why don't they always act? So our answer would be that the knowledge is not enough. So so we do believe that emotional intelligence bridges some gaps between awareness and action. And it always enables people to not only understand different perspectives, but also to collaborate effectively and to make some decisions that reflect some long-term values rather than short-term interests, right? So that was our first goal to achieve through this project, and that is why our project is very much based on like emotional intelligence model, focusing mainly on developing empathy, also some purpose-driven behavior, etc., etc. So we do believe that thanks to such an approach, we can contribute in an active way to achieving the sustainable development goals. Okay, does it work? So to turn this vision into practice, we are developing a sort of comprehensive educational ecosystem for higher education institution. That was our main goal, not to only, develop some new knowledge, but also create something that would be useful. So one of our main outcomes is SDGs University Knowledge Hub. It is a sort of online platform providing educational resources related to sustainability and emotional intelligence. We are also introducing and implementing issuing micro-credentials, allowing learners to earn some digital badges that recognize newly acquired competences and support lifelong learning. And also to make the learning process more engaging and more, I would say, experimental. We also developed a sort of innovative city game where participants explore the sustainable development goals while of course, strengthening and their emotional intelligence skills and through teamwork, real life challenges, and so on and so on. And of course, this project also includes some training activities, some webinars, some international summer schools, practical roadmap that will, we do hope, help universities to integrate the SDGs concept into their educational strategies. As you can see at the bottom of this slide, this work is carried out by an very international consortium. My university, Lodz University of Technology, together with partners from Spain, from Germany, from Latvia, and also some companies from Poland. Sorry. So we are combining not only higher education expertise and then educational expertise, emotional intelligence, but also some perspective like business and real world perspective. So our goal is quite simple, to equip learners not only with knowledge about the sustainable development goals, but also with emotional competences that would inspire some meaningful actions. So I think that's it from my side. Thank you very much for being with us, and thank you for your attention. And if there are any questions, I would be more than happy to answer them. If not, then I give the floor to Lina. Sorry for my voice.
Well, thanks a lot for introducing the project. I will probably take over your screen if that's okay.
Yeah, of course.
Now that we know what is the context of the webinar, I would like to introduce today one of our universities that is one member university of ACU. It has been accredited in both Entrepreneurial and Engaged University, and they have also made a big progress, and they are leaders in terms of sustainability at a strategic level of the university. So with that, I would like to introduce today to Dennis, who is representing University of Szeged, and he will present how his university has worked on SDGs to develop the sustainability profile of the university and where they are at the moment. Dennis, thanks a lot.
Thank you for the introduction. Shall I start with the presentation now?
Yes, please.
Okay. Just a moment. Let me know if you see what I see. It should be the slides of the presentation.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, now it is.
Is it okay? Good. So, well, sorry, maybe this will jump from minute to minute. However, first of all, I would like to thank very much for this opportunity to be here today, although we are not part of this project, but in this way I can feel a little bit part of it, which is a very remarkable project based on the presentation before. So congratulations on your achievements and on this international collaboration. Now I would like to talk a little bit about the University of Szeged and what the institution does for sustainability and sustainable development. I am Dénes Mátyás. I'm Deputy Director for Sustainability at the University of Szeged. Just very quickly, 2 slides about the University of Szeged, or 3. Where we are in Central Europe, but maybe this is nothing new for you, as I saw all the participants. However, we are at the triple border, close to Romania and Serbia, which is so to say a strategic position within Hungary, and we are in the city of Szeged. which is the third biggest city in Hungary, at the intersection of motorways and, well, relatively close to the Budapest airport as well, and a very sunny city, a very international city. About the university itself, it has 4 missions. It is a quite big university in Hungary. We have more than 25,000 students, 5,000 graduates per year. All levels of education are represented and all areas of education are represented at the University of Szeged, except for veterinary sciences, I guess. And the University of Szeged is a quite well-ranked institution if we talk about international rankings. Research is another mission of the university. You can see some numbers of research here, IP portfolio, contracts, publications. Healthcare is also a mission, one of the main missions of the university. There is a clinical center working within the university, so it is a very important mission at our institution. And third mission, or social responsibility, is without any doubt also very important. We are an innovation hub within the ecosystem, and social responsibility, the dissemination of knowledge, the sharing of knowledge is also of strategic importance at the university, which somehow I cannot. Okay, which has also some Nobel laureates. One of them is Albert Szent-Györgyi, who was the first to extract vitamin C. The other one is Katalin Karikó, who had remarkable work in on RNA-mediated mechanisms, which were very important in the COVID pandemic to solve the situation and to make the vaccines work. And we also have literary Nobel Prize winner László Krasznahorkai, who was a former student of the university for a certain period of his studies. If you pass to sustainability, sure, you know what sustainability is, so it is no need to read this out. However, the university focuses on operating according to ESGs as well, so environmental, social, governance principles are taken into consideration, and also to contribute significantly to the SDGs themselves. So these are like frameworks within the operation of the University of Szeged in terms of sustainability. And in fact, the university aims not only to adopt scientific and technological developments and results, but also to create such knowledge through education, research, development, and innovation, and also through its service activities, and to promote efficient and sustainable use of physical resources. And at the same time, just like your project, the university also aims to strengthen the dedication of its community and of the region and of future generations to preserve environmental, social, and cultural values throughout all its missions, like education, research, third mission and healthcare, and also in its operation, everyday operations. Sustainability itself is quite horizontal. It is horizontal also at the University of Szeged, so it concerns basically all the 12 faculties of the University of Szeged, several units, and so on. But also at the central level, there is a dedicated program, Sustainability and Green University Green STA Development Program, which deals with sustainability on an institutional level. But bottom-up approaches are also present. Units and faculties promote sustainability by themselves through programs and initiatives, and as I mentioned, at central level, it is also there. In institutional governance and operations, we aim to be committed to the universal human values and to continuous improvement and to reduce environmental impacts and to maintain safe and healthy working conditions for our employees and to promote and provide harmonious cooperation, share the goals, keep the traditions, promote and strengthen reputation and academic and institutional integrity. So that is present at the governance and operation level. On everyday operation in the institution's operational activities and development projects, the university takes due account of the green transition and promotes energy efficient and environmentally friendly solutions. Some examples are mentioned here, like energy efficient technologies, the use of energy efficient technologies from solar panels and wastewater heating system to various other solutions to reduce CO2 emissions and to use modern renewable energy production. The institution also aims to optimize its water use and to strengthen environmental awareness in waste management, mobility, sustainable mobility, green spaces and infrastructure are also important. And we also operate energy efficiency program and action plan from year to year, from semester to semester, to save on energy production and to decrease our energy production and CO2 emissions. There are certain periods in the summer and in the winter, 1 or 2 weeks, when the university buildings, most of the university buildings are closed to not use so much heating and not use so much air conditioning. Then, if we pass to the other mission, to the education mission, the institution aims to educate environmentally conscious and healthy citizens that are capable of addressing complex social challenges. To do so, there is a lot of work, of course, to make students and staff also emotionally intelligent, as you also mentioned, through the expansion of sustainability-related study programs and courses, through the integration of sustainability and social responsibility topics in teaching materials, and the development of widely accessible digital teaching materials, and also through some joint national and international courses that we are participating in within Hungary with 14 or 15 other Hungarian universities in an online course for sustainability, and also internationally within the UI Green Metric Network with 6 other universities. We developed a program, a course like 5 years ago, and it has been offered ever since. Then cooperative courses in sustainability have also been developed, like 20 or 30 in the last 2 years within a project that concern various topics from agriculture to finance, green finance, slow society, and so on, that are offered to our students. And also through Coursera, many courses are available for free for our students and for our staff, many courses that concern sustainability. Research is another important mission in terms of sustainability, of course, as at your universities as well, I'm sure. To play an active role in the innovation value chain, to support sustainable development, to identify challenges, and to develop solutions with real impact. You can read some of the research areas: e-fuel production, sustainable energy storage methods, urban planning, mitigation of aridification. In our region, it is very important now with the heat of last week. You know, it is something, drought risk is a reality, so there is a lot to do in this area as well. Then groundwater and precipitation pattern examinations and analysis, habitat restoration, microplastic and nanoplastic pollution. These are also various areas that concern sustainability, and all these excellence areas and excellence research focuses are gathered together in a center of excellence, the Center of Excellence for Interdisciplinary Research, Development and Innovation, to connect also those areas within the university and those departments which maybe deal with the same thing or with similar things, but did not know about each other much. But within this Center of Excellence, they can connect and develop solutions together. Social responsibility, our third mission, where sustainability and sustainable future is also important, as I already mentioned. The institution itself also sets an example to the region and to its students and to those living around the institution. So in the Southern Great Plain, and takes an active role in shaping social, economic, and cultural development through education, sensitization, awareness raising for sustainability, through community engagement campaigns and programs. Let me mention just two of them. There's a Balin Csándor well-being program where the institution, the university's knowledge is brought closer to the local communities, health screenings, programs, presentations, good practices are presented in the local community of a nearby town. And I can also mention there's a Blue Zone program which involves lots of health screenings in the region. Then we can pass on knowledge sharing, dissemination, awareness raising, I already talked about, or cooperation with partners and non-profit organizations. Some of the photos show such initiatives or programs. Panel discussion of University of Szeged researchers and educators. There was also a panel discussion at one of the conference of the parties, COP28, organized by the University of Szeged. But the university also maintains schools, primary schools, kindergarten. So basically, from birth to the elderly ages, you can be connected to the university. And we are so lucky that we can have impact on all the generations through these areas and schools and the clinics and so on. All these activities result in various positions in rankings, international rankings, which we are proud of, but they are like more a sign or feedback of the work done. But they are also good for measuring the activities that you do through the internationally recognized indicators, just like various accreditation processes and recognitions that you may receive at the end of such accreditation processes, like the ACU accreditations. We participated in the Engage University accreditation that really helped a lot to formalize and see better the areas for improvement and the work that we do. So all these frameworks are very useful for giving you internationally recognized standards and indicators for sustainability. And how is all that integrated or operated within the university? From commitment, which is put in the institutional development plan in written form, in vision, mission, core values, and goals. And the commitment is also manifested in the institutional leadership, in having a dedicated staff to deal with sustainability, and also in having a dedicated development program like the Sustainability and Green SDG development program to deal with these SDGs and the issues horizontally. But all the third mission developments cluster within the Center of Excellence that I talked to you about has various pillars that also concern sustainability, like well-being and family-friendly operation, sports, and health and the demographic programs. So this is the commitment level, which through data and monitoring, so through measurement in statistics, databases, registries, just to show you a few of these facility management systems and databases, educational administration systems, and surveys and other databases contain, of course, lots of data that concern sustainability. which is monitored regularly in reports. These may be 6-month reports or annual reports, or even in some cases monthly reports that concern those data which deal with sustainability. And through measuring the data and seeing what your efforts and results are, you can identify those actions which help the institution to improve in its operation concerning sustainability, which helps strategic planning and resource allocation to sustainability programs, and also evidence-based decision making, and in the end, societal, environmental, and real economic impact as well. Of course, there are lots of challenges on this path, as you see. These challenges concern scattered information within your institution, the difficulties to raise awareness, to motivate students and staff, to help develop emotionally intelligent citizens, and also difficulties to put the good practices or turn the good practices, transform the good practices into real habits and in common practice. But if you overcome these difficulties, then you may have great opportunities ahead to shape a sustainable future through those measurement methods that I talked about in the previous slide. So basically, this is the framework at the University of Szeged, and those aspects that I wanted to share with you. But if you have any questions or so, of course, I am happy to answer that and continue the discussion. And here on the last slide, you can see university photos from operation, research, education, and all areas, which are connected to the different SDGs. So everything is put on purpose on the place where it is on this picture. So I can say that the good news is that at our universities, we are at the right place to do for a sustainable future, because we have the capacity, we have the competencies within our institutions, and we have the knowledge to really do something for the sustainable future. It just has to be measured and continuously improved. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dennis. That is a very good example of how a holistic approach in a university can be developed. As you said, probably not easy, and probably the effort of the commitment of long-term stakeholders. But that's what we wanted to show here, the systematic approach, and that sustainability can and should be developed in all areas and or pillars of the university, and how to do that. Thank you very much. I know that is a massive effort to put a whole approach in a 15-minute presentation, but I think we got definitely the idea, and it definitely shows the leadership of your university in this area. So with that, we pass the word to University of Lodz, and we would like now to hear your insights on the topic.
Okay, I will start from sharing our screen. Okay, I hope you can see that. Okay, just give me a while to go to the... Okay, now it should work. So today we will also present our experience from our university, focusing not only on good sides, but also on some challenges. But as we all know, there are also there. It's not only successes and achievements, but also some challenges and lessons learned. To start with, we would like to present you the whole circle of what we do with our strategy, with the objectives, with indicators, with measuring all that indicators, and then with continuous improvement. So let's treat this graph as a starting point, and during our presentation, we will go through all these stages one by one. So please treat it as a kind of introduction. So to start with our strategy, sustainable development and impact has been always there in our strategy in different dimensions, in different parts, and it's really embedded in the strategy everywhere. As you can see in our vision, we mention Green Campus, we mention serving as a valued partner to the economy, and we also say about acting in the best interest of society. And when it comes to our mission, all we do, whatever we do for the benefit of the society, the economy, and the world. So as you can see, just from the very, very beginning, the impact and the sustainable development goals are there in the strategy. In this document, 11 interconnected areas were defined. Today, we will focus on impact and sustainability. Just a few words of introduction. Sustainability is the topic of today's webinar, but we also find impact important. As in our project, we do our best to educate agents of change. These are people, students, but also academic staff, who are educated to make an impact on their local community, on the world, on their local academic community. So we also find it important. And other areas like innovation, leadership, science, and so on. And the fact that they are not bolded and marked in color, does not mean that sustainability is not there. We just mark these two important ones for today's webinar. So in all others, impact and sustainability is also present. When it comes to the impact as our strategic commitment, we have defined the strategic objectives, saying that TUL is a university committed to dialogue, cooperation with its environment, and that it contributes to the development through research and education. And we have also 4 areas defined here, that we find lifelong learning really important, and we do our best to advance it. We also mention community engagement as a very important part of this impact strategic commitment. We also take care of the research, which should address societal challenges, and we promote inclusive access to knowledge and competencies, not only to the academic community, but for all the people in our community. When it comes to the sustainability, the strategic objectives has been defined as to continuously advance the university in alignment with SDGs, while seeking and shaping solutions that facilitate their achievement. And again, it means that we integrate these activities in all activities conducted within our university. It means that we develop zero carbon campus in our activities, and it means that we support research contributing to SDGs. So this is how it looks from the perspective of our university development strategy. Then let's start with measuring impact. Well, first of all, when I started working here, we had a little different strategy that we have now. And through my work here in this university, I could witness, take part in completing 3 types of university strategies. The first one included not only objectives and mission and vision, but also a very, very, very long list of indicators, which were a part of this strategy. The next strategy did not contain indicators. There were mission, vision, some strategic objectives, but no KPIs. And we monitored the strategy, let's say, in a more quality indicators. And right now we have the strategy with a strictly defined mission, vision, and strategic objectives. But KPIs are defined in a, let's say, supporting document, which means that they can be modified if there is any like this. So right now, for the internal purposes, we take care of our strategy key performance indicators, different project indicators, stakeholder feedback, and institutional reporting. So we report about what we do for the SDGs, we report about what we do for a zero emission strategy, and so on and so on. But we also take care about external perspective. It is not easy, as still it is always easier to say to yourself that you are not good enough in something. But when people from outside, like rankings, different accreditation bodies or different institutions say that you should improve in some aspects, it's always difficult to consider that and to accept it. But we are, as a university, we are not afraid of this external perspective. So we take part in rankings connected with sustainable development goals. These rankings were also mentioned by Szeged University, so you know what I mean. We are not afraid of accreditations, and we are in the process of ECU accreditation for engaged university, and we also are interested in international benchmarks. So this is how we measure impact from these two perspectives. I would like to mention three different aspects of the strategy of university: education, research, and community engagement, or we can call it also the third mission. When it comes to the education, here you can see some examples of what is important for us. Sustainability-related courses, civic knowledge and engagement course. That is the course which is obligatory in the programs. It is connected with students volunteering. It is connected with students doing something, sometimes something very important for their environment. It is also connected with interdisciplinary learning, which is important in our programs, with international educational projects. So we really take care of involving all stakeholders, internal and external stakeholders in this project. We also take care of competence development for future challenges. Therefore, as Dorota mentioned at the beginning, we take care of emotional intelligence and other skills we find really important in future life. And we can also mention here student participation in research and innovation activities. And you can also see a few indicators we use to measure that. For example, number of SDG-related courses, number of students involved in SDG-oriented activities, number of international educational projects, and the rate of student participation in different activities. These are, let's say, example indicators, not all, just to illustrate what we do. Then with the research, and its societal impact, the strategy of our university finds it important to conduct socially responsible research, environmentally responsible research, interdisciplinary collaboration, innovation and knowledge transfer, and of course, cooperation with business and external stakeholders. Really very, very different type of external stakeholders, not only business and companies, but also NGOs, different foundations, associations, and so on. And the indicators we use is the number of SDGs related research projects, the number of scientific publications linked to SDGs, the external funding secured, the amount of this funding, and the number of industry collaboration projects. And when it comes to the third mission, let's say, impact beyond the campus. A few examples here: lifelong learning initiatives. For example, we have the third age university for older people, but many other initiatives as well. Cooperation with local authorities and with NGOs, and activities supporting groups of risk exclusion. Of course, these are only examples embedded in our university strategy. And the indicators we use is the number of partnerships, number of participants in these outreach activities, number of lifelong learning programs, number of social inclusion initiatives, and number of patents and innovation outcomes. And again, these are only some examples. But of course, it's not easy. Measuring impact is really something very difficult, and we find some obstacles in the way. First of all, collecting reliable data across the institution and integrating information from different units. So if the unit, which is, well, maybe just to start with, we have the special unit at our university, which is responsible for collecting different types of data, not only data connected with SDG and impact, but also data connected with research, student life, education, everything. They collect this data, analyze them, and prepare different types of dashboard for university authorities or faculty authorities. But there is, of course, a problem connected with that, because they collect data from different units, from different departments, different faculties, and so on. And as you know, the ones who collect this information are people. So sometimes the interpretation of what data should be collected and how this data should be collected varies between the departments, between the units. So it's difficult to collect data for which the same methodology have been used. That can be a challenge. Another challenges are connected with the measurement itself. It is very difficult to distinguish outputs from impact. So the fact that we count the number of activities does not mean that we count the impact. Yes, because numbers are only numbers, and measuring impact itself is much more difficult than counting number of activities. And also the problem with measuring long-term societal effects. Yes, we need a lot of time to do it, to compare different data, different years, different circumstances. So it's something which is really very time consuming. And when it comes to the engagement itself, it's important to ensure that we have university-wide ownership of the process. That is also something we find difficult. And it's important to link individual initiatives with strategic goals. So which means that, of course, we should do as much as we can do for the SDGs, for the impact, but still we have to remember that we have the particular strategy, the goals defined, and we should first of all consider these strategic goals. What we have learned so far, that to do something important, to do something impressive, important for our community, the impact and sustainable development goals really must be embedded in institutional strategy. It's easier to monitor them then, it's easier to make improvement then. Lesson number 2 is that every strategic objective we have defined really needs wise measurable indicators. So it's pointless to count only for the sake of counting. We really need to know what we want to count, is that really needed, and how to count that. Lesson number 3 is that impact requires cooperation across all different types of education, research, administration, and external stakeholders. It's pointless to do something only in one part of the university, in one dimension of the university. Lesson number 4 is that international cooperation really makes a difference. Of course, you can compare what you do with universities in your country, but still you should remember that probably we have similar regulations, and sometimes what we do is connected with these regulations for the universities. So we do something because we must do it, like, for example, reporting for the ministry system and so on and so on. But international cooperation really opens your eyes because you can see other tools, other benchmarks, other perspectives, and it really accelerates institutional transformation. And lesson number 5, that academic staff can be key agents of change, but we need to be motivated and we need to see the sense of what we do. So if you ask us to count something, it's better to show the sense in this counting, so make people more motivated. And looking ahead, well, so we should all remember that measurement is not the goal. So we know that reporting, monitoring is important, is trendy. It's connected with a lot of different accreditations, rankings, and with the position of the university. But the measurement itself should not be treated as the goal. The second thing is that collecting more data does not mean that we make greater impact. We just need to have wise data to collect, wise indicators to follow. And more indicators do not necessarily mean better decision. The challenge is to identify the measures that truly reflect our contribution to the society. So these are 3 important things we should remember. And just a kind of summary that, okay, we can count everything, we can report, we can monitor, and so on and so on. But for us, impact means that we want to educate graduates who can really address societal and environmental challenges, which is not easy. That we really want to deliver research that contributes to solving real problems, that we want to support communities through partnerships with us, through lifelong learning, and all different types of services we can provide them with, as well as the knowledge transfer. And that we do our best to create a more sustainable university and campus environment, and that to contribute to the SDGs, we need measurable actions and long-term change. So the short thing to summarize that impact is not what universities do, that's the difference universities make. So I did my best to be as quick as possible. Not
Thanks, Justina.
Yeah.
It's very interesting to see some of the challenges that universities face. I mean, I see that from both universities and how the big goals are shared, which is definitely showing the development in higher education as a whole. Thanks a lot. We are running definitely a little bit late. If you can give me 5 more minutes, I will try to go a little bit quicker through what we want to share with you today. We probably have a little bit of a different approach. We work with universities, so we don't experience the challenges of universities, but we try to learn from those challenges and support universities as much as we can, providing some tools, frameworks, and other type of support to develop their mission in general, but more specifically topics like entrepreneurship, engagement, sustainability, digitalization. Specifically internally in ACU, we have ACU seats, that is our socio-ecological and economic development, let's say, initiative, and is trying to push the topic of sustainability inside ACU. And through that, connecting that or going outwards with this idea. So basically, as you know, in ACU, we manage 2 units, the accreditation itself and the projects. And in both of them, we connect our efforts to impact directly. And this impact in accreditation is a broader definition, and we try to achieve an impact that goes beyond the scientific impact that is probably has been the main focus of universities for a long time, the tradition of universities, and going into a broader spectrum of their mission, which includes, of course, all our SDGs. In fact, a lot of universities, when they are developing the, especially the engaged university accreditation, they can connect very easily to all the SDGs efforts. And in terms of projects, what we do is every time that we get into a new project, we try to match it directly with an SDG, as you can see here in this visual. If the project is not directly connected. So we always try to have a clear connection to an SDG and to have a clear impact towards all the projects that we do. And then what we do through this project, and I want to focus specifically on the projects, is that we try to provide universities with different tools to measure. And then this example that I'm bringing today is a project that already finished, and it is called the ESG Shift. And then in this project, we developed the ESG certification. This ESG certification aimed to be a tool for universities to measure their efforts and their progress in terms of ESGs and SDGs, and in that trying to help them to develop a more concrete plan to develop internally and more strategic level. This certification includes the environmental area, the social area, and the governance area. And through different stages, the idea was to help universities to move into different stages. So step one started with a quantitative self-assessment that included different types of indicators for these three areas: the environmental, the social, and the governance. And in each of these areas, the universities could rank their efforts. They could also opt out for some indicators that probably will not apply to their context or to their initiatives. And in that, have a full an overview of where they are with their efforts. Based on this, or taking this as an element of assessment, we move into a qualitative self-evaluation in where the universities explain a little bit more how they are working towards these quantitative indicators. And then here they describe a little bit more in detail what are their goals, what are their procedures, what are their type of measurements, also including challenges and difficulties that they have for each of these areas. And then in step three, we bring together different experts in the topic of sustainability, so then they can assess the university and their development. And it's through this discussion with the peer reviewers or the external experts that the university can also assess and identify themselves areas of development for moving then into a final step of development or an action plan. So starting with a quantitative measure indicators that are external to the university, and then complementing that through an assessment, a more qualitative assessment, the universities, the idea is that they can start development a roadmap or a clear, more clear strategic steps towards the development of these three areas that they want to achieve. So this is an example of how we support universities on a strategic, more institutional level, and we are providing clear tools for them to develop in this one. But there are also some examples that we focus more on the individual level, and this is another project that we're working on at the moment, and clearly connects the development of the emotional skills of the individuals to develop actions in terms of climate challenges. So this project focuses specifically on climate anxiety and how universities can address and develop skills in students and also educators to manage better these emotional and social skills related directly to the effects of climate change on the individual. And in this one, wrong side. We also start with an assessment tool that is trying to provide an idea of where are as any assessment tool, where are the areas of improvement. And this assessment tool is also connected to the European frameworks of GreenCom and ASEL, please help me here, only GreenCom, right? Where
Yes, that's
we're
right.
also connecting the individual level with the goals of the European Commission in the development of these skills. Then we take this self-assessment and with this we create some modules to help the students to develop these areas where they should work a little bit more. These are some examples of the modules that we're working on. So eco-psychology, crisis management, eco-grief, positive psychology, mindfulness, climate narratives, in a way to empower the individual. So this is, again, working on the individual level to then take action and work in a university context. And to sum up, another example of a different level where we work, and probably Angela I will also give the floor to you. Here we have Start DSP, which is giving students tools to take more action through entrepreneurial initiatives, and then develop probably more at an educational level within the university. Angela, you want to explain the tools a little bit more?
Yeah, sure. Yes, I mean, in Start DSP, basically is the idea of making entrepreneurship also like sustainable, let's say, or how to involve terms of sustainability in entrepreneurial models, business models. So basically here, what we develop in this project is an assessment tool also. So and for entrepreneurs, students, or any educator that wants to evaluate their ideas or the business models ideas in on how they integrate sustainability, digitalization, and entrepreneurship. So in this model, we also combine the three frameworks from the European Commission, so Entrecom, Digicom, and also GreenCom. And so basically, any user can define first the business idea, then complete the self-assessment across these three dimensions. So they are all single answer questions that they do, and then they receive an assessment report via email where they got like a specific feedback in terms of the strengths, weaknesses, and also opportunities for improvement. And yeah, the idea is that they could continue this, monitor these improvements over time as soon as they continue, let's say, developing the business idea. So I think here the main purpose is to think also about businesses being part, or any kind of entrepreneurial idea from that is, let's say, built in the university, that is from the beginning also already considering sustainability as a core part of the business model. So yeah, I think this is mainly what it's about.
Thanks. So yeah, the idea and the main message that we want to transmit here is that measuring is a difficult process, as you have also mentioned in your presentations, and we try to create some tools to help this measurement process at different levels, and also to connect that with, of course, the European framework, the European objectives to the different frameworks, and also to provide something on top of the pure assessment to work on that. So as maybe Justina mentioned, it's not just measuring for the sake of measuring, but measuring for a purpose, and having tools that will try to motivate people in the data collection, which is not always easy, and try to bring people together. And it's through this dialogue that while you're collecting data, you're also raising awareness, motivating people, and transmitting a message to them. So that is probably our approach to measuring and to contributing to impact, and specifically in terms of sustainability. So thanks a lot. If you have any questions or any comments, not only for me, but for Dennis, Dorota, or Justina, please go ahead. Dorota or Justina, would you like to add anything?
Well, maybe just I would like to thank you for sharing all those ideas how to make it happen simply. I think it is important not to develop a knowledge, theoretical knowledge, but also to share some good practices. So today it was a great example of many inspirational practices. So let's just do it. Oh, there are some questions.
Justina?
Yeah, I have the question to Dennis. It is at your university in a unit responsible for data collection, or do the units collect them themselves just for the sake of the rankings and all other purposes?
I would say it is combined because some units collect themselves, but there is also indicator system or executive management information system, which gathers all this information to the leadership as well. And it's weekly and monthly, I think weekly, refreshed with up-to-date data, and is a good basis for decision making. But of course, it's the units themselves that upload the data there, which they have, like I don't know, the facility management unit, for example, gathers information on energy consumption, electricity, water, and so on, and this is then visualized in this management information system with the data itself. So yes, otherwise there's also the strategic management, the Department for Strategic Management, or Directorate for Strategic Management, sorry, which also deals with an amount of data and connects all the dots, you know, among this data in reports and so on. So basically, I would say we have the department level as well, and we have the institutional level as well. For rankings too, of course, because rankings require lots of data. For accreditations too, but most for the improvement, and with initiatives like the university now is implementing the ISO 50001 standards, the energy standards, just to better its operation. And we have also done a gap analysis on the areas in sustainability, what can be improved, how we can improve those. So there is this continuous improvement based on the data that is collected, which is often, yeah, difficult to collect, difficult to monitor. But if you find those instruments that you can use, for example, we have the projects registry or database at our university, where the various projects have a different column in which the SDGs that they are connected to can be marked. Or we have a registry of programs and events, and that can also be used to see which are the community engagement programs we have, which are the volunteering projects we have, what is connected to SDG 4, what is connected to SDG 11, and so on. So once you set up these frameworks, then those can work very well. And we are also trying to improve continuously in data management too. Sorry, it was a little bit a longer answer, but I hope.
Thank
I
you.
got very
Thank you very much, Dennis.
It was interesting to see also your experience and your strategy and your practices in using all these indicators that you mentioned, which are really the basis for taking all these sustainability and sustainable development goals seriously, I think. So I think we work on similar grounds, so to say.
Yes, and with similar challenges, I think, as many
For sure.
universities. Yeah.
I was smiling and nodding quite often during your presentation, so I totally agree.
Well, thanks a lot, everyone. I think to be mindful a bit of time, we're already a bit late to what we have proposed initially. So if there is no any other question or any other comment, we can close the webinar here. Thanks a lot to Dennis and to Justina for presenting your experience. And I hope that we can continue the discussion later on.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
everyone.
Thank you.